Matt here. Thanks for stopping by again. Hey, listen, this is a video to continue on with my Would You Fly on a Pilotless Airplane video. You know, a fully automated airplane with no pilots on board or with just one pilot on board, or keep things the way they are with two pilots and nearly fully automated airplanes. So, I am what I did here, and last time I cited a few aviation disasters, I think three of them that would not have happened as a result of no pilots in the aircraft and having computers in control. So I want to start with the Miracle on the Hudson. Captain Sullenberger. He did a phenomenal, heroic job of getting the thing landed safely in the Hudson, and nobody died. I think there were just a few injuries. Well, had a computer been flying that, it would have automatically tracked which airports it could have made it with dual engine, and it would have immediately headed over to Teterboro and landed safely. They did it in the flight simulator. So that's one of the accidents. The airplane that crashed in Queens, New York City, the pilot kicked the rudder so hard that it snapped off. Can you imagine being in the rear of the plane? I mean, I wonder how many broken necks there were. But it's no laughing matter. But that's another aviation accident that would not have happened had computers been in control of the airplane, and computers only. What else? 9/11. Think about September 11th, 2001. Had the cockpit been locked and no pilots up there and simply being, a fully automated airplane, the terrorists would not have been able to take over or even get up there. I mean, they could have, stabbed a lot of people in back, but they would not have been able to take control of the plane. So September 11th would not have happened. Tenerife, the worst aviation accident ever. Two 747s colliding on the runway. Computers back then weren't nearly as advanced now, but this is a scenario-based discussion, okay? So I know you probably already made some comments. So this is scenario-based. So I have a web page up here right now. I'll just go over some of these. The Andes collision, the pilots flew into the mountain. There was a movie made, I think it was called Survival. 29 people dead. Here's one. Pilot Air Antarctica, New Zealand, DC-10, 257 people died. Pilot Air, another one, Cali, Colombia. The American flights, it's a 757 crash when landing in Colombia, 160 people. There's a technical defect. Here's a collision. Doesn't say Pilot Air, but two planes did collide in midair. That wouldn't happen if only computers were flying the airplane, in my humble opinion. Here's one. Pilot Air Guam, 1997. A Korean Air 747 crashed into the jungle right before landing. 228 people died. Java Sea, Air Asia Airbus A320 crashed into the sea on the way to Singapore. Unknown causes, maybe suicide, 162 people. By the way, the German pilot that crashed into the side of the mountain, killed everybody with him. He waited till the other pilot went to take a bathroom break, and then he locked the cockpit door and flew into the side of the mountain. That was suicide. Two Asia flights also committed suicide. The Indonesia flight, let me see here. Terrorist attack, I mentioned that already. Technical defect, miscommunication. Here's one, 1997. Garuda Indonesia Flight 152 crashed into a mountain during low visibility. Computers don't need visibility, okay? They've got synthetic aperture radar. They've got everything, GPS, INS, GLONASS, VOR, TACAN. So 234 people would still be alive today. Fog collision. Here's one, 8 October 2001 in Milan. A German Cessna crashed into a SAS jet as it was taking off on the runway in thick fog. That may have still happened. The Cessna still could have, I'm talking about computerized major airline aircraft. Let me see here. Crew Air, Nagoya, 1994. The wing of an Air China machine touched the runway when landing with only 7 passengers surviving. So there's 264 people dead. So I'm assuming there was crosswind landing. That could have still happened had computers been in total control. And I mentioned in my first video, and I'll say it again, that's the only portion of flight that I'm uncomfortable with computers flying the airplane, and that's crosswind landings. I just don't think you can teach a computer the English and stick and rudder skills that pilots have, when you have to grease it onto a runway. But maybe in a year or 2 or 3. Here's an interesting one. Pressure drop near Athens, 2005. The cabin pressure dropped due to an incorrectly adjusted valve, causing the pilots to become unconscious. 121 people dead. Well, guess what? Computers don't need to be conscious or unconscious. They just need to be working, right? They don't care about the air quality. Here's a fire. Technical defect, fog. Okay, it doesn't say pilot error, but fog. Okay, shortly before landing, the Russian city of Smolensk, the Polish Tupolev crashed into a wooded area. Among others, the Polish president, Lech, whatever his name is, perished. So, fog, it wouldn't have happened had computers been flying. Here's one that was shot down. Terrorist attack. Severe weather, pilot error. There's a 228 people, Air France, Flight 447. It would not have happened had computers been flying. What else? Collision, fog. The Taiwanese Airbus touched down before the runway and burned out. Of course, computers would have done a better job. 202 people would still be alive today. Pilot error. Here's Tenerife. Spanex Airlines Convair 990 crashed during takeoff in thick fog on the runway. 155 people would still be alive today. Collision, fog. I mentioned that already. The worst air disaster in history. 2 747s. The pilot made the mistake. 583 people would still be alive today. Technical defect unknown. Flight MH370 I mentioned already. Mysteriously disappeared. 239 people dead. East Coast, deliberate or tech defect disputed. 1999. Air Egypt. Boeing 767 crashed into the sea off the coast of Massachusetts. 217 people dead. And collision, 2002, a Russian passenger machine and a DHL cargo plane collided in the air over Lake Constance. 71 people dead. And there are countless others, but this is just one web page I went to. So just ask yourself, as you're reading about an aviation disaster and a lot of people dying, even smaller airplanes. So there were a couple of pilots who ferried an aircraft. I think it was a regional jet, CRJ. They took it up to its maximum service altitude, I think of 29,000, 39,000 feet, just to get it up there. And all of a sudden it flamed out, and the engines, it was so cold that it's called core seizure. They couldn't get them started. Computers wouldn't have been screwing around like that, right? So that's my case, and I'm sticking with it. I think, even the Boeing CEO announced the other day that there will be no new type aircraft till the mid-2030s, pending new technology, which is telling me, and it should be a clear signal that, hey, we are going to, take the pilots out of the flight deck. So I'd love to know your comments. Don't be too harsh on me, but think about it. And don't think that I think that computers will never cause a major accident. There might be computer failures. There might be a major lightning strike or something. I don't know. They're pretty immune to lightning strikes already, as proven by time. But there might be a computer glitch. Hackers, I don't know. I think it's going to be hack-proof. I think it's going to be a closed system. But I think there will be some accidents, but far less accidents if computers are in control with all the technology that we have and will have, and the way artificial intelligence is going. So thanks for stopping by. Let me know your comments. Talk to you next time. Bye.